Pooh Shiesty's mom went live and openly made strong claims, saying Gucci Mane allegedly played her son out of around $25 million. According to her, this money was generated while Pooh Shiesty was locked in a federal prison cell serving time on a gun-related case. She suggested that during this entire period, Gucci Mane was still actively making money off Pooh Shiesty's name, his music, his streaming numbers, and his overall catalog performance, but in her words, he did not receive a single dollar from it. She went further, saying there were no payments, no checks, no wire transfers, and not even a basic message acknowledging his situation. From her perspective, it was complete silence from the business side, while the music continued generating income in the background. Then when Pooh Shiesty eventually came home, things reportedly didn't stay calm or low-key. According to the way the story is being told online, he didn't take a slow or quiet approach. He didn't immediately involve lawyers or release public statements about personal growth or reflection. Instead, the narrative suggests that he moved directly into action. It is said that he showed up at a studio in Dallas, Texas with a group of people, reportedly around 8 individuals including his own father. And once he arrived, the situation allegedly escalated very quickly. What was originally expected to be a music-related or business discussion reportedly shifted into something much more serious. The label situation reportedly turned into a legal matter that later developed into a federal case. According to circulating claims, Gucci Mane was allegedly pressured into signing contract release documents while being recorded on camera, with Big 30 reportedly filming parts of the situation on a phone. At this point, the situation was no longer being viewed as simple music industry drama. It was being framed by online discussions as something much deeper, involving loyalty, money disputes, contracts, and decisions that could potentially affect lives permanently. Meanwhile, during all of this, Pooh Shiesty's family was active on social media, posting prayer emojis and expressing a defiant and supportive energy, while he was still facing serious legal pressure and time-related consequences. To understand how everything reached this point, people often go back to Memphis, Tennessee around 2019. That is where a young artist named Lontrell Williams Jr., who would later become known as Pooh Shiesty, began building attention in the streets and online. He dropped a project called Hell Night independently. At that time, there was no major label backing, no industry cosign, and no big promotional machine behind him. It was purely raw Memphis energy and his natural ability to connect with listeners. The sound started spreading quickly. His delivery stood out. His voice, tone, and presence carried a cold and authentic feeling that people felt was real and unfiltered. It didn't feel manufactured or overly polished, which made it stand out even more in the local scene. By 2020, his buzz had grown significantly. That was when a major turning point came in his career. Gucci Mane reached out to him. Gucci Mane is an artist known for being one of the key figures in trap music. He is also known for discovering and developing multiple successful artists through his label 1017. So when he made contact, it was seen as a major opportunity. For a young artist coming from Memphis, this type of call represented more than just a business offer. It felt like a doorway into the industry opening fully. Gucci had influence, distribution power, industry respect, and a proven track record of turning new artists into mainstream names. Eventually, Pooh Shiesty signed with 1017 Records. This moment marked the official start of their business relationship. Shortly after, they released music that symbolized the partnership, including tracks that were meant to represent loyalty and unity. At the time, everything appeared solid from the outside. The connection looked real, and the partnership seemed stable. Then in 2021, everything changed dramatically when Pooh Shiesty's career exploded on a national level. His collaboration with Lil Durk on Back in Blood became a major hit and spread across social media, clubs, and streaming platforms. His mixtape Shiesty Season also performed extremely well, reaching high positions on the Billboard charts. Shortly after that, Shiesty Season Certified also gained strong attention and reached #1. He was quickly rising into the category of a mainstream rap star. Features, attention, brand deals, and industry interest were all increasing rapidly. At that point, his career trajectory looked like it was heading towards superstar status. However, in July 2021, everything suddenly stopped. He was arrested and faced federal charges connected to a shooting incident in Florida. Prosecutors claimed the situation involved a dispute where someone was injured during an altercation. Although Pooh Shiesty maintained that he was not the person who pulled the trigger, the legal case still moved forward. Eventually, in 2022, he pleaded guilty to a federal firearms conspiracy charge and was sentenced to more than 5 years in prison. With that, his momentum in the music industry came to a complete halt. The promotion slowed down, public appearances stopped, and his name gradually shifted from being a rising star to someone dealing with serious legal issues. However, during his incarceration, his music did not stop generating revenue. His songs continued to perform on streaming platforms. His catalog remained active. Tracks like Back in Blood continued to be played widely. His name still carried commercial value in the industry. This is where much of the controversy began. According to online discussions and claims made by commentators, money continued to be generated from his catalog while he was in prison, but there were questions about how much of that revenue was actually reaching him. Some individuals, including Charleston White in online commentary, claimed that millions were being generated through his music under 1017 during his incarceration, while Pooh Shiesty himself allegedly did not receive a fair portion of it. Whether the number is 24 million or 25 million has been widely debated online, but the core allegation remains consistent, that he felt financially cut out during a period when his music was still highly active in the market. This situation created tension not just as a business matter, but as a personal issue involving trust, loyalty, and the structure of his record deal. After serving approximately 3 years, Pooh Shiesty was released in October 2025. Shortly after his release, he returned to music activity and began releasing new content, showing signs of re-entering the industry. At the same time, there were reports that major labels, including CMG and Yo Gotti's Circle, showed interest in working with him again. However, there was a complication. He was still contractually tied to 1017 Records, which made any transition more complicated. Adding another layer to the situation is the known history between Gucci Mane and Yo Gotti, which has been publicly documented over the years. This made the business situation more sensitive and complex. By January 2026, reports surfaced about a studio meeting in Dallas, Texas, involving Gucci Mane and members of Pooh Shiesty's circle. The meeting was reportedly intended to be a normal business discussion regarding music and contracts. However, according to allegations circulating online and mentioned in legal discussions, the situation reportedly shifted once contract termination documents were introduced. It is claimed that tension increased during the meeting and pressure was applied regarding signing paperwork. There are also allegations that valuables such as jewelry and cash were involved during parts of the incident. Though these claims remain part of ongoing legal disputes and are not fully confirmed, federal authorities later became involved, and investigations reportedly included surveillance footage, phone records, and social media activity as evidence sources. At one point, it was also suggested that data from supervision systems, including ankle monitoring, may have been reviewed as part of the investigation process. Pooh Shiesty's legal team has pushed back strongly on parts of the public narrative, stating that there are inconsistencies in how the situation is being presented and that the full context has not been properly established. His mother's response added another layer of attention. Instead of issuing formal press statements, she went live on social media. Her tone was calm but firm, and she expressed strong support for her son. She posted messages focused on faith, protection, and blocking negativity. Many interpreted her actions as a sign that she believes her son was treated unfairly, especially regarding financial matters while he was incarcerated. Once the $25 million claim began circulating online, it spread rapidly. Some people criticized the claims and called them exaggerated, while others believed it highlighted deeper issues in the music industry. Industry figures also responded. Rick Ross commented by emphasizing the importance of understanding contracts and negotiating properly. 50 Cent also reacted in his usual outspoken manner, adding more attention to the situation. Big 30's legal representation described the charges against him as shocking and pointed out that he had no prior criminal history. They urged the public not to rush to judgment before all facts are revealed. As the situation developed, online discussions expanded beyond just Pooh Shiesty. People began questioning broader industry practices, especially how record labels handle young artists and long-term contracts. At the center of everything, Pooh Shiesty is now facing extremely serious federal charges tied to allegations involving coordinated criminal activity. If the case results in conviction, the consequences could be severe under federal sentencing guidelines. His father is reportedly under strict bond conditions, including house arrest and electronic monitoring. Other individuals connected to the case are either still in custody or remain at large. The U.S. Attorney has stated that allegations involving violence and intimidation are being fully investigated and will be prosecuted accordingly. Meanwhile, the defense team continues to challenge aspects of the case, focusing on evidence interpretation and raising questions about inconsistencies in the narrative. Beyond the courtroom, this entire situation has sparked a wider conversation about the music industry itself. It highlights how artists sign contracts early in their careers, often giving up significant rights in exchange for exposure and opportunity. It also raises questions about what happens when artists are incarcerated and unable to manage their own business affairs. During that time, their music can still generate revenue, but control over that income becomes a major concern. This case has become part of a larger discussion about artist protection, contract fairness, transparency, and the power dynamics between labels and artists. Ultimately, the situation shows how quickly success, legal issues, and business disputes can collide in the music industry, creating long-lasting consequences for everyone involved.